The first one is stable intake before reduced intake. So metabolism cannot regulate itself when food intake is unpredictable. When intake swings day to day, it's very low one day and then very high the next day. Your body prioritizes conservation because it thinks it's under attack. It thinks it's in survival mode. And so it clings on to the fat that it has, reducing your body's ability to let go of said fat. And energy output becomes erratic. Hunger increases and recovery worsens. So the rule here is before any deficit, you need to make sure your body's intake is consistent enough, the hunger is predictable, that energy is stable, and that training performance doesn't fluctuate, meaning you're not losing strength. That one day you're doing amazing, next day it's horrible and goes up and down, or it needs to be consistent, your energy output. Because on top of everything, fat loss works on stability, not on top of chaos. And I say this all the time, date your body, date your health in a relationship with your body. If you don't show up for it, if you're not consistent, if you're not reliable, it's not going to be there for you. So stability is so important when it comes to fat loss. The second one is muscle protection is non-negotiable. So muscle is one of the strongest regulators of metabolic rate, because when muscle is lost, your resting energy expenditure also decreases, and your energy expenditure, resting energy and expenditure, is part of NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which just means any type of action, hand movement, walking, anything that is not a form of exercise. And when this decreases, it means your ability to burn energy day to day decreases because you're subconsciously doing less day to day. And your daily energy capacity shrinks when you have less muscle, because just think about it logically, right? Like compared to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he has so much muscle, his body processes everything so much quicker. And so the more muscle you have, the more your body has the ability to burn more fat. That's why muscle is very important. And future fat loss becomes harder if there is no muscle. Like I said, if there's more muscle, there's more ability to burn fat. It's like if there's more factories, there's more output, right? So if there's more muscles, there's more burning ability. So this often happens very quietly during aggressive dieting or poorly structured training. So the rule here is if your strength has been trending down for weeks, your metabolic regulation is already compromised. Like it's already not doing well. And regardless of what the scale says, you need to fix it. So even if your body weight is going down, but your strength, like your ability to move, is going down, you're actually losing muscle, which in the long term, yeah, the number's going down, but it is very detrimental in the long term because muscle has been linked to things like preventing Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, other types of neurological diseases, because sarcopenia, which is muscle loss, has a very strong correlation to developing these types of neurodegenerative conditions. So protecting muscle protects your metabolic ceiling, because if the ceiling drops, that is very, very bad in the long term, not just in terms of fat loss and your overall health, like I said, linked to various types of neurodegenerative disorders. The third one is movement frequency. This is one I'm definitely guilty of. Your body's metabolism rate depends on how frequently you move as well, not just how much you do. So long sedentary blocks push the body into energy saving mode, into conserving mode. And so even if you train hard in like blocks, for example, one workout cannot offset an otherwise entirely inactive day. So if you're working a desk job for, I don't know, like 12 hours, and then you do 1 hour cardio at the gym, it's not going to offset the 12 hours of sitting. It's always best to move throughout the day. So the rule here is consistent movement throughout the day, as in like every 1 to 2 hours, walking, standing, light activity. It's not necessarily confined to workouts. It can just be moving around, whatever. So frequent movement helps with your metabolic output response, which is very important. The fourth one is appetite signals must be readable. So when metabolism is regulated, Hunger that is produced is gradual, it's proportional, and it's responsive to meals. But when your hunger becomes very urgent, it's very emotionally charged, it means the regulation's off. It can be caused by excessive restriction or irregular eating patterns. And so the rule here is that if your hunger feels chaotic, you need to fix it, because this reduces your fat loss efficiency. So what you should do here is regulating appetite should be at the top of your list before pushing further for fat loss. Because if you don't fix this, no matter what you do, how much more cardio, how much more cutting you do, it's just not going to be sustainable. It might work in the short term, but it's not going to be sustainable in the long term. I can guarantee you that. And number 5 is that your stress load must stay below your recovery capacity. The way your body sees stress is that it can be work, it can be exercise, it can be poor sleep, it can be emotional stress. It just clumps all together as stress. It doesn't differentiate, it doesn't distinguish what's what. And when the total load of stress exceeds your ability to recover, your body releases fat slower because it goes into conservation mode, which means it clings on more to fat because it thinks it needs to survive. So the rule here is, if you are under constant stress, you need to, and you're also dieting, it's actually best to reduce your restriction on your diet, because dieting also adds to a form of stress. And so if you're constantly pushing yourself, constantly have this restriction, you're actually making it worse because you're adding to your body's stress. It's already overstimulated. The best thing you can do at this point in time would be to find a manageable way to eat. So just forget about dieting for a second. Just try to eat clean. Try to do something that's manageable. And once you've established that baseline, then you can go from there and actually start becoming more in a deficit, because your body would have been regulated by the point in time. Because when you're really stressed and overstimulated, no matter what extra stress you put on top of it, it's just gonna stay the same, or if anything, become worse. So it's best to make your body feel safe again and then go on deficit from there. So those are my 5 non-negotiable rules to regulating your metabolism. And these really help me and help my clients as well. So if this video helped you, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next, what interests you, any thoughts, comments, queries. And yeah, wishing you all happy digestive systems. Until the next one.